The 2020 season has been so bizarre. I mean, there's been a lot of weird things going on, but I think one of the weirdest has been that there's not going to be an All-Star game this year. One of my favorite events of the baseball season. So I've been seeing some articles written on MLB.com about the 2020 All-Star game and what they thought it would look like, and I figured that would make a good video. Why not go ahead and tell you my picks, my choices for the 2020 All-Star game, starting it off with the American League today. Now, if you do want to see the National League tomorrow, 3,500 likes, you will get it on Sunday, because we got a lot to cover in here. We got the starters, we got the 12 bats that are going to be the backups, we got the 13 pitchers, including the starter. We're talking about the entire team. Something to keep in mind, as always, I am going to continue the rule of one player from every team has to make the All-Star team. So if there's someone on there that's a little bit weird, keep that in mind. Otherwise, I told you to leave a like if you want to see the National League tomorrow. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, you enjoy baseball content. This is the kind of stuff you can expect to see. Get in the comments down below. Let me know who you think was snubbed off of my list or who deserved to make it. And make sure you're following me on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, second channel. Links to everything, as always, is in the description. So let's get it started with our starting lineup. The 9 guys in the batting order and the starting pitcher, followed by the reserves. So getting us started off at the catcher position, a shocker, the Baltimore Orioles catcher Pedro Severina, who has arguably been the best catcher in the American League this year. Offensively, 904 OPS, 5 homers, 21 RBIs, a 384 on base. Severino is the best catcher statistically in the American League right now. He's got to get the start. We are rewarding the Orioles. Starting at first base, we got New York Yankee Luke Voigt, who has been one of the hottest hitters in Major League Baseball this year. Tied for the Major League lead in home runs with 13, 28 RBIs, hitting 293 with a 359 on base, 664 slugging, and OPS at 1023. Luke Voigt is absolutely mashing and deserves to get into the starting lineup. Starting at second base for the American League, we've got Tampa Bay Rays player Brandon Lau. Now, Lau's been playing a little bit of the outfield, but we're going to start him at second base. He's at the top of the WAR leaderboards. He is an MVP candidate. Brandon Lau's been great. 10 homers, 7 doubles, 2 triples, 27 RBIs, 361 on base, 592 slugging, 953 OPS. He's got to be your starter at 2B. Starting at third base, despite a slow start, Anthony Rendon, the newly acquired Los Angeles Angel. The dude has just been doing what Anthony Rendon's done his whole career. He's been hitting 6 homers, 6 doubles, 19 RBIs, 299 average, and American League best 434 on base, 521 slugging, gives him an OPS at 956, playing good defense at third as well. Rendon has been great. He's lived up to that contract so far. He's your starting third baseman. At shortstop, it was tough. Lots of great options, but I ended up going with Tim Anderson of the White Sox. Tim Anderson last year really broke out, had an amazing season, and he is building on it in 2020, where he's hit 7 homers, 8 doubles, and a triple, leads the American League in runs scored, 41 hits on the season, a 347 average with a 389 on base, 610 slugging, gives him an OPS literally just under 1,000 at .999. Tim Anderson just mashes. He makes the game fun. Now, in the outfield, I will say this. Aaron Judge would be an all-star, but because he's injured, I'm not going to include him in today's video, so keep that in mind. Starting for us in the outfield, let's go with our first player for the Toronto Blue Jays, Teoscar Hernandez. Whoa, Teoscar Hernandez has had quite the season, really breaking out. Teoscar has 13 homers and 6 doubles with 25 RBIs. Yes, that is tied for the Major League lead in home runs. 311 average, which we haven't seen him hit that high ever before. 361 on base, 644 slugging, and a 1005 OPS. You gotta have Teo in your starting lineup in the All-Star game. Dude's been mashing. Our second outfielder in today's video has been on a tear in his rookie season. I'm gonna end up going with Luis Robert, who is arguably the best player in the American League this year. He is going to possibly win the MVP. He has been that good. In the field, disgusting, and also at the plate, disgusting. We didn't expect him to be this good, I think, in his rookie season. 11 homers, 8 doubles, 27 RBIs, stealing 4 bases, 278 average, 331 on base, 586 slugging, and a 918 OPS. His value is unbelievable. He has been one of the best players in baseball this year. Louis Bob getting that start. And then for our last and final outfielder of the starting lineup for the American League, I mean, it's got to be Mike Trout, right? Even in a season where he's not being Mike Trout-like, he is still one of the best players statistically in the league. Tied for the Major League lead in baseball in home runs at 14, 36 RBIs, which puts him in the top 5. He's only got 3 doubles, which is interesting, but the long ball's going out, so who cares? 276 average, a little bit lower than normal, but 371 on base, 627 slugging, gives him an OPS still almost at 1,000 at 998. Yeah, Mike Trout's making this starting lineup. I thought maybe at first he wouldn't. He has to. He's still ridiculous. Dude's probably going to win the MVP again. And then for our last hitter in the lineup, we got our DH, and that's going to be Nelson Cruz. I mean, you knew that was coming. Nelson Cruz is literally the fine wine of hitters. He only gets better with age, and somehow in his 40-year-old season, Nelson Cruz is tied for the league lead in home runs at 13, and he has the highest OPS in the American League, along with slugging percentage at 1087 and 667. Nelson Cruz is 100% going to be the DH, without a doubt. And then for the pitcher on the mound, starting for the American League, you know I'm a believer. We're talking about Shane Bieber. I was super high on Bieber last year, had a great second half, finished 4th in the Cy Young voting, and he has just gotten even better this year. I didn't think it was possible. Major League best ERA. He's 6-0 in 8 starts, 52 2/3 innings. Major League lead in strikeouts. He has the best FIP, 5.1 hits per 9, the Major League best 14.4 Ks per 9. He's just having, honestly, what you would consider an almost perfect season for a starting pitcher. He's clearly the choice on the mound. Now, for the reserves, let's start it off with the the hitters. On the bench as a backup catcher, shockingly, Martin Maldonado. Yet Martin Maldonado, when you look at the offensive numbers for catchers this year, has been one of the better ones in the American League. 4 homers, 3 doubles, 18 RBIs doesn't sound a lot, but he does have an 873 OPS and a 416 on base percentage. Where's that coming from? Great defensive catcher, never much of a hitter, but I gotta give him the nod this year at the plate. He's making the All-Star team. For the American League, only going with 1 first baseman on the bench along with catcher, and I'm gonna go with Jose Abreu of the Chicago White Sox. Dude's been mashing, part of that team's success. 12 homers, Major League best 36 RBIs, tied for the American League lead in hits at 49, 316 batting average, 619 slugging, 981 OPS. Abreu just hits. That's all he does. At second base, being the lone representative for the Detroit Tigers, I've got Jonathan Schoop, who's quietly had a really good year, been helping that offense massively. 8 homers, 20 RBIs, 879 OPS, 310 average. We're finally seeing Jonathan Schoop climb back to that performance that we once saw in 2017. Really good pickup by the Tigers this year. He's making the All-Star team. Also making it onto the All-Star team as a second baseman, DJ LeMahieu of the New York Yankees. Can't leave off DJ. He's got the best batting average in the American League at 382. He could have arguably started over Brandon Lau, but I love the 10 homers for Lau. That's why he gets the nod. LeMahieu, though, incredibly good. 4 homers, 2 doubles, 2 triples, 12 RBIs, 977 OPS. I don't need to say much else. The lone third baseman on the reserves, Matt Chapman of the Oakland A's. Chapman is swinging and missing a lot this year. He struck out 44 times, 131 at-bats, but he's still mashing. 10 homers, 9 doubles, 2 triples, and 25 RBIs. He's hitting 252, which is actually higher than last year. Not walking, though. 298 on base is a little low, but a 580 slugging still gives him an 878 OPS. We know how good he is with the glove. Matt Chapman's making the team. Shortstop, 2 names, both in the American League East. Let's start off with Willie Adams, who I've been a big fan of. People were sleeping on him last year. But Willie Adams has shown he can play. 5 homers, Major League best 14 doubles on the season, hitting 322 with a 398 on base, 585 slugging, and 983 OPS. Really bright young star at shortstop. Make sure you remember this guy's name. And then the other shortstop from the American League East, Xander Bogart. Gotta give Bogarts the nod. Even on a terrible Boston Red Sox team, he's still performing. 8 homers, 8 doubles, 23 RBIs, 288 average, 349 on base, 880 OPS. He didn't forget how to hit. It's just their pitching doesn't help them. Moving on to the outfield, sticking with the Boston Red Sox, they do get another All-Star out of it. It's gonna be Alex Verdugo, who's been one of the better outfielders in the American League this year. Now, his power numbers aren't gonna jump off the plate. He is a doubles guy over homers. 5 homers, 13 doubles. But you combine that with how he's been playing in the field on the base paths, he's been valuable. He's hitting 311 with a 367 on base, 519 slugging, 886 OPS. I think I gotta show some love to Alex Verdugo, another guy I've talked to and interviewed. Heading back out to the Bay Area, let's talk about Oakland A's outfielder Robbie Grossman. Robbie Grossman quietly having a very good year. Now, his average is gonna be a little lower than you expect, 267, but a 422 on base with a 558 slugging gives him one of the highest OPSs in the American League at 980. Only 86 official at-bats, but Robbie Grossman has been performing at a very high level. He gets the nod, gets on the bench for the All-Star team. Outfielder slash DH, Franmil Reyes. I guess more of a backup DH here, but we'll consider him outfield too. Wow, he's been hitting well this year. Never a high average guy, but this year 336 with a 575 slugging, yeah, 962 OPS, 8 homers, 8 doubles, 25 RBIs. You gotta love yourself some Franmil. He's gonna be the backup. And then for our last outfielder on the bench, let's go for the young star out in Seattle, Kyle Lewis, another player I've interviewed. Kyle Lewis is balling out this year. 8 homers, 21 RBIs, 2 doubles, 43 hits. He is towards the top of that Rookie of the Year voting for sure. 319 average with a 408 on base. That's disgusting. 511 slugging to give him an OPS at 919. He has slowed down a little bit since the start of the season, which is why he makes the reserves, but still at 24 years old, Kyle Lewis and the Mariners, ooh, that future is bright. So that's our hitters. Let's move on to the pitchers now, the bullpen. We've got 8 starting pitchers and 4 relievers to go through. Let's get it started off with the pen. For the Kansas City Royals, they got 1 representative in the bullpen, Josh Staumont. Staumont has been disgusting. 0.57 ERA in 50 2/3 innings pitched this year, striking out 29 batters. He does walk a few 11, but regardless, I still think I gotta put him on here. He's only given up 1 earned run this year. 16.7 K per 9, 5.2 hits per 9, and 0.6 home runs per 9. Just does have a walk problem, but he lights up the radar gun. I'm putting him as the lone representative for the Royals. We'll stay in the American League Central for the next 2 guys, both relievers again. This next one from the Cleveland Indians, James Carranchax. Ooh, what a year James Carranchax had. The dude's just always struck out an insanely high amount of batters, but now he's doing it at the MLB level, and he's gotta be rewarded for it. 2.0 ERA in 18 innings pitched, whip under 1, 17.5 K per 9, 4 hits per 9, hasn't given up a homer, and limits the walks better, 4.5 per 9. Yeah, he's gross. He's making the All-Star team. I want to watch him pitch. And then the other American League Central reliever I was referencing is going to be Alex Colomé of the White Sox. Now, Colomé doesn't have the strikeout numbers like these other guys. Doesn't have the whip numbers like these other guys. Doesn't have the stuff. But he's got a .68 ERA. He's only given up 1 earned run in 13 1/3 innings. And he's been one of the best relievers. Big reason why the White Sox have been able to close out so many games. Gotta show some love to the White Sox who are playing really good baseball. And then the last reliever of the All-Star team is going to be Oakland A's closer Liam Hendriks, who again is going out and just shoving this year. 1.1 ERA, major league lead in saves at 10, 16 1/3 innings pitched. He has a whip at .673, like what? 12.7 Ks per 9, 4.4 hits, 1.7 walks, doesn't give up any homers. Liam Hendricks is one of the best relievers in baseball. He makes the American League All-Star team. Now, for the rotation, we got 8 guys here, and let's get it started off with Houston Astros starting pitcher Zack Greinke. Now, Greinke's having a little bit of a quiet year. That's just what Zack Greinke does, but his numbers are still very good. 3-0 with a 2.91 ERA, a whip at .971, striking out 8.5 batters per 9, which is above his career high, 7.4 hits per 9, 1.4 walks. He just goes out there and pitches a great game every 5 days. You gotta love Zack Greinke on the mound. He makes the All-Star team at 36. There's also another Houston starting pitcher that's gonna make the All-Star team in my eyes, and that's gonna be Franmil Reyes. Franmil Reyes is pitching really well. He's made 6 starts, 7 appearances to a 2.58 ERA and a whip at 1.1 in 45 1/3 innings pitched, 9.5 strikeouts per 9, not walking a lot of guys, limiting the home runs. In the American League, where there haven't been a ton of amazing pitchers, I think Valdez sneaks on towards the back end of this list and makes the All-Star team. Now, for our next starting pitcher, former Houston Astro, now on the White Sox, Dallas Keuchel. Keuchel's having a really good season. He's been huge for the White Sox. 8 starts, 2.42 ERA, whip at 1.17. That's lower than his career average. He's having arguably one of the best seasons of his career outside of the Cy Young year. Now, he's not striking out anybody, but that's never been his game. But he's limiting the hits, limiting the long ball really well. Only 2 homers this year, and he's not walking guys. Keuchel makes the team. I'll keep it in the South Side of Chicago here. Talk about the other White Sox making the All-Star team, Lucas Giolito. We know he threw a no-hitter. That's not why he's making it. Definitely helps his numbers, but he's still been very good this year. He's towards the top of the American leagues in strikeouts with 66, 3.14 ERA, 1.007 whip, 12.2 strikeouts per 9. The walks are down from his career average. The hits are down. The homers are down. Giolito's having a very solid season, and he deserves to make the team. This next pick is one of the more surprising ones. I don't think anyone saw this coming before the season started. Dylan Bundy of the Angels. Angels got him for nothing for the Orioles this offseason, and he's still only 27 years old. 2.47 ERA, whip under 1, by far the best season of his career. It's not even close. Hits per 9, 6.2. Strikeouts per 9, 9.7. He's limiting the long ball, limiting the walks. He has figured something out in Los Angeles, and he deserves to get recognized. Put him on the All-Star team. Back to the American League Central we go. Shout out to our friends in Japan. Kenta Maeda is making the team. Making the move to Minnesota has been big for him. His numbers have gotten better. 2.53 ERA in 7 starts this year, 42 2/3 innings. American League best whip at .75. 10 strikeouts per 9, 5 hits, 1.5 walks. It's weird, he's giving up 1.1 homers per 9, but it doesn't matter because no one's getting on base. Kenta Maeda is limiting base runners, striking guys out, and he's pitching amazing. For the lone representative of the Texas Rangers, dude's a workhorse, Lance Lynn. Where did this come from? 9 starts this year, 57 1/3 innings, the most in Major League Baseball, a 2.67 ERA, a whip under 1, 9.9 strikeouts per 9, hits per 9 are down, walks are down, giving up a few homers, but Lance Lynn just goes out there and shoves, just throws a ton of fastballs, and it's working for him. Thought he was going to get traded, didn't end up moving. He's the Rangers representative. And then for the last and final player of the American League All-Star team, in my opinion, shout out to my good friend Daniel Kim and the country of South Korea, Shinjin Ryu of the Toronto Blue Jays. Ryu during the month of August was great, and that's what's helped his numbers look fantastic because he's having really a good season again. 2.72 ERA in 8 starts, 43 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, 2.5 walks, 0.6 homers, and 7.5 hits per 9. Give him a whip at 1.116. Again, not the most exciting pitcher. He doesn't light up the radar gun, but Hyunjin Ryu knows how to pitch, gets the job done, and has been massive in why Toronto's competing for a playoff spot. And that's the American League. Let's go. So those are my picks for the 2020 American League All-Stars. If the All-Star game ever existed this year, obviously it doesn't, but if it did, this is who I got. If you did enjoy it, you want to see the National League tomorrow, make sure to leave a like. Best way to show your support. Subscribe to the channel. Get in the comments down below. Let me know who you think was snubbed. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff, social media-wise in the description. That's where we're going to wrap it up today. You guys know the drill from here on out. Thank you so much for the amazing support. YouTube recommends you watch this video as well as this is my most recent upload. So click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another video. Bye.